And we're live for round 2 of What to Do. I am the High Priestess Phoenix, spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger god. Ooh, first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you would have to catch what I post on my community page. Oh, that was a good card. And my latest live video. I don't think I posted anything between now and then. Maybe I did. What did we post? I posted a video. I got a little triggered in the video, and then I started laughing after what just had happened. What just had happened was... What happened? Give me a second. Let me find the card so I can give you... Sorry, I got it download. So I could give you something to stare at. Alright, so in my last video, I pulled some cards for the day. And I pulled the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, get on my face, Loki. And, Jesus. What was the third card? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Oh, it was the Ten of Cups. That's right. It started with the Knight of Wands, and I started laughing. Hold on, I'm trying to find the Knight of Wands. Where are you? Yeah, very back of the cards were really bad. Somebody need to shuffle these. I lost him. I gotta find this bad boy. Knight of Swords? Nope. Looks like that guy, though. Knight of Wands. Tower, Sun, Cups, Priestess, Tips. Anyways, I was laughing because, okay, first off, I was chilling. And I just had my video, or I sat down with my caseworker, and she wanted to talk about all that shit. I was like, I don't want to talk about it. And then I ended up talking all about it and poured it all out. And I was like, okay, now you know I don't want to talk about it. She's like, I'll make sure that everybody knows. And I'm glad that you told me all of this, because I was unaware of all of this. And da-da-da-da-da-da. Knight of Pentacles? Yeah, he came up. That dude. All slow. That drove me crazy. That card never drove me crazy before until I read it in the other description. I was like, oh, this guy's annoying. Where is my Knight of Wands? I mean, seriously, though, where are you hiding, guy? Knight of Swords. I'm just going to put all the Knights up. There's a Knight of Cups. We're going to find this guy. And I was like, what is it with the Knights? And that's why I started laughing. I was like, it's the young guys. Anyways, I went outside, and I was chilling, and I was like, you know, I was talking to Red about it, and I was like, yeah. You know, first off, she's a liar. And she'd be bullshitting and acting like she got all kinds of trauma, and she fucking got me all fucking traumatized and triggered, and I don't want to be part of it. And I was like, you know, and then I told him the situation and stuff. I was like, you know, I'm really trying to work through some shit, and she over here just instigating a bitch. Is what I felt like. There he is. There's the guy. Told you, sign of Aries is on my cards. I was like, you know, I'm trying to rehabilitate myself from, you know, years and years of this. And she comes over and makes all this thing. I was like, it wasn't me that had the conversation. And as far as this guy, I wasn't even triggered until she said that he was trying to get her in the truck. And then Morgan made a good joke. And then I realized it was just, you know, a triggersome. But I was like, she's a fucking instigator, bro. She's fucking instigating me. She's annoying me. And I'm not going to fight for all these things. I'll deal with this guy on my own. And, you know, going forward. This, that, and the other. And that's all I said. And then I was talking about, I said my trauma, and I was like, it went on, you know, I had sexual trauma all the way through my marriages, bro. I was like, I can't even hear that word. I was like, it makes me go crazy. It was really weird because I spent 2 years telling everybody on the outside that I only wanted a marriage. And then one day, one full moon in Aries, I realized what that meant for me. I kept spending all this time telling you what that meant for you, and at no point looked at what that meant for me. And this went off. What is that? That's my energy. They say it's the card of Sagittarius, but clearly that is an Aries. But in essence, there's a reason that they call us this. And you can see it exhibited in my behaviors yesterday, where I'm like, I'll just go. I'll just leave. I just go. If I'm out, I'm out, I'm out. And that's non-committal energy. The definition of conditional love, I suppose, is if you don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm always off to something new, a new adventure. A new this, a new that. Always a new. I'm hearing Anubis. There we go. We're transitioning into something new. Is this your card, Anubis? I went to the Hierophant, which is another card of marriage. I was like, it's not that I don't, you know what I mean? I have to reword it in my mind, but the word itself brings up memories. I was like, I didn't even know I had PTSD until certain things started making me trigger. Now I realize every time you say this, bad things happen. Really? Yeah. Yeah, don't say that word. And it's really funny because how did this happen? One of those, Friday nights, one of those Saturn days that push your limits and then all of a sudden you see things differently. What happened? I started to see myself in a possible long-term relationship. I was trying to see myself in one, and all I could see is how terrible it was to sit at home in a relationship. Really? Oh yeah. I went all kinds of crazy. But also, I got to remember this and speak it out loud. As I was leaving, he's like, I told Red I had to do an interview today, and he's like, you need a work from home job. I was like, that's a great idea. I never thought about that. That's a great idea. I need a computer. He's like, they're not hard to get. He's like, talk to your caseworker. I was like, oh yeah. I just talked to her. Told her I didn't want to talk about anything. Really? Yeah, that's a good idea for me, don't you think? Why didn't I think of that? So 2 minds are better than 1. That's a great idea. I can learn online something and do something. I have a great phone voice. Hi, my name is Peggy. Just kidding. That would be great for the winter. Really? Yes. I'm totally that bitch. And that would be great for my dream. If I could do this and just have internet, which I do. I do. T-Mobile. I have wireless internet everywhere we go. Broadcasted hotspot. I could do that job anywhere. I'd have to get a good job. Sorry, I had a dirty joke. That was a good one. I'm still on the Hierophant card. Get away from me. Talking about the Knight of Wands. Not trying to get married. I'm still in my wands. Damn it. I knew it when I saw that card and I didn't see the whole picture. Picture me rolling. Come on, Hawk. I'm so close. It's in the cards and I'm still freaking out. Hold on here. You know what's happening? I'll tell you what's happening. Every time I get closer, trying to take little baby steps, they're little baby steps. They're opening up bigger doors, like real big doors, right? So I'm like, I just wanted to go on a date, and then it leads to marriage. Do you see how it is? It's like this one act can lead to the biggest act. With this guy, you never know. I've learned not to do that anymore. Really? Yeah, because as you can see, I'm not really, I'm scared. It's in the cards. So out of nowhere, which is where I live, in nowhere land, out of nowhere I was like, hey, let's meet up. Let's do something on this date. Right? So by that, out of nowhere, on a new moon, I opened up a new door of possibilities. You have to understand, it's me opening to receive. It's not about the person on the other side, and that's where you have to be very careful when you're dealing with energy. You can't get caught up on, I don't want to say that. That doesn't sound right. Let me see. I'm at the 4 of Wands, which is totally, the Princess of Wands, which is totally a great card. That's not what I need. I need the Knight. On page 69. People don't know how to properly work with magic because their intentions are too narrow, their expectations are too high, and they don't really know what they're sending out and what they might receive. Yeah? Yeah. So by sending an invitation to a person, regardless if the person on the other side rejects that invitation, I set out an invitation, I set out a frequency that can be heard. How do I know? Because we need to start with Russ. I started to figure out, what's going on with Russ? Out of nowhere, I was coming up the elevator, I just had a good conversation, this was like, go look at Russ. Russ deleted his little verse to his next greatest, album. And that's, indications of stuff. The littlest things mean big things, realistically. So we're going to go into this. When I send out radars for love, he picks them up. How? I don't know. I can't wait to sit down and find out. I know what I hear from you guys. I could tell you what I hear on my side, how I know that you're doing stuff on the internet, or you're sending out, subliminal messages or real messages. And that's where it is. It's like, I don't have notifications on. As I said this morning, I said, I don't turn my notifications on because I don't want to just be sitting there and all of a sudden a message fucking blows me away. I want to be guided into it where, like, okay, go look. Okay, well, if I know the person, then I'm, like, ready to go, I'm ready for whatever that person is. That's how I can be like, I'll catch your story within seconds because I heard a radar. So this is what I want you to understand. It's a frequency. So when I send out this message to him, the universe hears it. Particularly fucking Russ. That's an example. A very poor example. But an example nonetheless. Is if I do this, then it can be heard all over the universe. And now it's a call to not just you, but to the universe. That this is my want. I want this. And when I'm very specific, and that's what I've learned to do. Because it's like, elaborate. I want this. This is what I want. I'm very specific. I don't play around. It's not negotiate. I'm just very straightforward now in my intentions so that, you know what I mean? It's direct. So if there's no misdirection. Oh, well, I thought. I didn't say that. That's what I said. That's what I meant. That's what I was talking about. Realistically, yeah. So you have to fine tune it. And you guys aren't really being that truthful with yourself, with other people, or with the universe. You know what I mean? It's like, well, what do you want to do? This is what I want to do. And that's what I said. Like, I said forever that I wanted things to go a certain way, and it took for fucking ever. That's that Knight of Pentacles, like the slowest moving energy ever. But I got exactly what I wanted. I kept saying for fucking, I would say at least 18 full moons that I was going to have sex under the full moon in the woods. I said that for like 18 full moons. Kept inviting people. It never worked out. Why? Because I wasn't actually ready. And then it happened exactly how I said it would happen. Why? Because I didn't shift in what I wanted to happen. I didn't change my mind. And that's where it is you have to be in of a sound mind. So when I set out this intention of what I want to do, then it sends out that. So when I send out the frequency of love, I'm ready to go love again. The universe sends love. How much love? Is any different way. It's sending out a frequency. What does this mean? I want to love you. I'm not sending out frequencies of, desperation. I want you to take me out to dinner, and I want you to love me, and I want you to treat me like, no. It's my intention to go love on another person. That's what I want to do. I'm filled with love, and I want to put this love and see how it feels. That's what I want to experience. So when I send out this intention into the universe, or at a person, the whole universe is like, oh, she's calling in love. So it comes back to me in all different ways. Because ultimately, I'm trying to pour in love. I'm trying to pour out love, which means by pouring it out, I'm pouring it in. I'm calling it in. It's the flow. Right? Now, let's go back to this. I'm trying to give love, not, be in love in a marriage. Is right. Like, this is moving too fast. And that's what's funny is it's a fast-moving energy. That's the King of Wands. It's a fast-moving energy. If you learned all this. And then they had me bring out all the boys. I was like, why are we bringing out all the boys? And then I started laughing because it's a boy band. If these were men in my life, which men would they be? Who's who? who's who of the who's who's. Who is the Knight of Wands? That would have to be a fire sign, correct? So that would be Uncle Nasty over there. A romance with this knight is likely to be passionate and dramatic, but he likes his freedom, so he may not want to be tied down. If and when he decides, he will be loyal and loving to a partner who shares his enthusiasm. Okay? Now, he is attractive, sexy, charming, glamorous, full of energy, fearless self-confidence, the life and the soul of the party. He can be moral, generous, warm-hearted, but also thoughtless, reckless, quick-tempered, and boastful. A person who must always have something new and exciting. I told him he was this. As soon as I met him, I was like, oh, I thought you were my emperor. Never mind, you're a Knight of Wands. And he got so motherfucking offended. And doing that, what did I do? I realized I am a Knight of Wands. Nobody does it better. Okay, that's what happened. See, what had happened was, I didn't want a man to come and be my man again because I had a bad experience. I just wanted someone to make me feel special. Some intimate moments away from being mom, away from being everything I was. I wanted a companion, a friend with benefits. And that's what I had in Bobby. But then all of a sudden I wanted more. And he couldn't be more. And that's where everything got fucked off. In the beginning, he was everything I wanted. I didn't want any more. I didn't need someone to come into my house and be a man in my house. I just needed someone to show me love and me to love on occasionally. And that was work, and it worked. That was it. That was the whole thing. And I was like, how could I be so in love with you if that's all we did? Because that's all I needed. Any more would have been too much for me. And it was wild because of the fact that that was a type of love that I didn't share with anyone else. And that's where the sex trauma comes in. And I was like, that's what I told, I used to say, is like, I got out of R. Kelly's meat locker, I'm not going back. I was made to sexually perform for their sick, pleasures in order, in some sense, to keep them satisfied so they wouldn't leave me. If you want the real, raw simplicity of it. From my first husband at 15 to my second husband at 30. Verbally told, well, if you don't do it, then I'll have someone else do it. So I was made to be a sex servant. So I didn't enjoy sex. It was a job that I had to do, and I would close my eyes and do whatever they said just so that I had them there. And it's a trained pattern from being a child where I was sexually abused, where I would just close my eyes and, I couldn't do anything. I was helpless. So it was astonishing that I actually wanted to do this with someone and I enjoyed it with someone. This was a whole new level of love. It wasn't sex. It was love. For me, it was. I had plenty of sex that I blacked out. But the sad part is I blacked him out too. Because it was also sex. Really? Yeah. So that's how it was cool in the beginning. But then afterwards, I don't know. I just didn't find another partner. I didn't vibe like that with anyone else for all those years. So when he comes back 5 years later, all of that love wakes up. But I don't understand. And neither does he. Because we're just supposed to have sex. I asked him later. He knew that when he came to my house, I was going to have sex with him. I didn't. I was so appalled that it happened, and it happened so fast, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like crying, like I just was trying to show you love. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. I just really wanted to just be close to you. And that's what came out. And it happens every time I'm around him. It's dangerous. So dangerous. But it's the way that I show love with him. I don't know. It's a shadow part of me, obviously. And it's like all of my trauma turns into pleasure with him. Obviously, he enjoys it. And I just start performing, I suppose. but I enjoy it instead of not. Well, not when he disappears, though. That's not cool. And that's his pattern. Why? I mean, probably the same thoughts. It's like, how can we have more? And then you get freaked out. Or maybe not. How do you hide it? It's probably what he has to deal with. It's like, oh, fuck. I kept thinking about that. What about the lipstick? What about the lipstick, bro? I kept thinking about that. What? There's always something. Oh, fuck. What'd you do about the lipstick, bro? Why did I wear lipstick? I didn't think about that. Oh, man. I don't know. You might have got caught, didn't you? Oh, man. I don't know. Fuck. Well, anyways, going back to it. I didn't acknowledge that this was my energy because it wasn't knowable to me. So as I projected on him, and he really wears it, and I get really disgusted about it, then all of a sudden I get in spiritual court with him, and I'm called back to Bobby, and here I go, hoeing out. And I put on the energy. I put on the fucking suit, bro. The suit. I really do. And I fucking, if you haven't been listening, I'm a whole night of wands. I just want to have some fun. I don't want to get married. I just want to have some... Oh, God. Really? Yeah. Oh, and then the cards came in. It's like, all right, take it slow. Right? And then the next card, it was like, you know, adventure, take it slow because it's going to end up in marriage. And I panicked. I didn't see that in the cards earlier. I was like, what's happening in these cards? Something's happening. It's happening too fast. It is, but it's not. It's not. It's it's my fault. I know I want to be married. I'm just... Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold your horses. There's a lot to get from here to there. Really? No. I'm totally fucking wifey material. It's mentally. I need to take baby steps mentally to this. It's too much for me to think about. And I get shut down real quick. I need to I'm a teenager and you're trying to marry me off right away. And I know I said I wanted that, but now I'm a little fucking freaked out and I'm going to have a Marilyn Monroe moment and fuck everybody, all the bitches in the world. They say once you go black, you never go back. Why do they say that? I want to know. I want to see if I go back. Sorry, just playing. I'm not. I mean, I might need to test this theory out. I have to test a lot of these, lies and see if they're real. And what happens? Then I'm married. See what I mean? Everything leads to marriage. Sex is the gateway to marriage. You have to be careful with this. Do you understand that? It's not about you could have the best sex of your life. It's that you could really make a connection through something so simplistic as having sex with someone you never had sex with. And it can change your life. It's not just sex. There's love that happens in there. And it can happen out of nowhere. Really? Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's really cool. It's not sex. I mean, by definition of what you're doing, I suppose. But that's not what's happening. It doesn't feel or look or any of that. It doesn't. It's not like you're on the outside looking in. It's something completely different. Really? Yeah. So I wanted to bring up this really great conversation that I had, riding the elevator up, my higher vibrational self. I think we all have commitment issues for all different reasons that we all really need to work towards, because ultimately, as I said last night, and maybe even earlier this morning, it's what God created us for, is to be in a happily, holy union, a long-term commitment of a holy union that the world has called a constitutional marriage. I don't want to live in an institution called a marriage based on the terms and agreements of what you guys expect that to look like. just like everything else in my life. I don't want my marriage to look like other people's, nor do I want my sex life, my anything is not going to look like anything of this world. By definition of what we're trying to accomplish, it has the condemnation of a word like that. But I'd like to change verbiages so that I can make it more comfortable, more digestible. Because when we say a marriage, that's something that most people don't want. But when we say, I want a long-term commitment, a holy union built on love and passion, that sounds like something everybody wants. And it makes you want it. You know what I mean? Change the direction. And ultimately, anybody that's not wanting that in their life is coming from a hurt place. You know, I was having a conversation out, unrelated, about somebody who knew somebody that was a madam. And they organized all of that as, escorts. And what people don't understand is, yes, there's those Tinder dates, there's the sex workers. But there is a huge amount of women and men that invest, and that's what we were talking about, is like, how much do you pay to go on a date with a girl in hopes that you're going to have sex with her? You're putting this huge investment in the hopes of sex, where you could just find a girl that has sex for less, right? You're not investing in a relationship, you're investing in sex. Now, there are people of my age and of different ages that would be more than willing to pay for the whole night for us to have good companionship. What are you doing tonight? You want to hang out with me? I'll pay for everything. Let's go to the casino. I had a man one night. I was driving Lyft. Oh, he was a great man. I forgot about that man. I picked him up. He was in town doing some convention downtown Denver, and he wanted to go up to the casinos. How could I forget this story? And I'm a beautiful young lady, and so I drive him up, and I told him, it's a little difficult to get a ride out of here because of the service, and drivers don't just hang out up here. And he's like, well, can I pay you to just hang out for a couple of hours? Nothing intended. You could just hang out and, we can gamble. He paid me $150 to hang out with him for like 2 hours. And he was the most generous gambler at that table. He tipped everyone. He was very kind. He bought, drinks are free. He just wanted some companionship. He didn't ask me anything inappropriate when I drove him back down the mountain, and we did it on the app, so I got paid for that ride. Nothing. He just asked me to pay for my time to hang out with him, so he had a ride. And it was cool, and I did. And so with that being said, in the form of an escort, it's like, you're paying for a date, for companionship, for somebody to hang out with you at an event, so you're not there alone, so people don't talk to you, so you avoid somebody, so you make someone jealous, whatever the case may be. There's those type of events, there's those type of women and men, especially at my age. I just want to hang out with someone. Sex isn't necessarily included, please, I don't know, Heinzheimer, maybe, I don't know. No, I changed my mind. I just wanted someone to hang out with. That's all you wanted? Yeah, really. Life gets lonely. That's all. In the essence, it's like, how much do you invest to hang out with your friends? You go out on a Friday night and you're going to spend like $150 for fucking bottle service for everybody to come and hang out with you. And then you're going to spend how much money on food and, all of this stuff just for companionship. We're talking about paid companionship. Now, if you are paying for sex, what are you paying for? Are you paying for the orgasm, or are you paying for the closeness of having somebody's body close to you and the feel of, that passion? Because when women pay for sex of a man, that's what we want. We want to feel the closeness of a man. It's not really about the orgasm. It's just, I want to feel this. I want to feel what it feels like to be in the arms of a man. I want to have a man touch me. I want to feel this. Men that pay for sex from sex workers, they want to just, hump and dump. This is a very loaded conversation, but I want you to understand that all of the complexities of sex and love. And understand if you're coming from a place of love or passion. So when a woman goes to lay with a man, there's this thing where, first off, depending on the woman, but ultimately I think subconsciously, and the same with the man. If this girl sleeps with me, man, it makes you feel good. In your ego or somewhere, you feel good that she's giving herself to you, right? same thing that we receive. It's an exchange of good feelings, which can lead to love, because this is a feeling that I feel special, I feel close, I feel seen, I feel closer to somebody than I've ever been before, that kind of thing. And it can lead to really intense emotions where I'm seeing Fatal Attraction. I'm seeing Sleepless in Seattle. He's all, have you seen Fatal Attraction? Well, I did, and every man that ever did, I was scared for the rest of their fucking life. It's kind of how I am. All I did was fuck her, and now she wants to marry me, and she won't leave me alone, and she's going to ruin my life. Oh my God! It's not true, and you know that's not true. But in essence, it's like, I mean, how did sex lead to love? I couldn't understand that when I woke up, because I kept looking, I kept asking him, why do I love you? And it took me forever. I had to dig up old Facebook messages and shit. I finally found out we were just friends with benefits. But every time I tried to do something more, he ran. Like, I tried to have, like, you know what I mean? Instead of just, you know, our little get-together here in town, I tried to go out of town and do more. And that was, he ran, and then I never talked to him again. You know, and that's where it is every time I go further with him, he runs. So there's a pattern in that. What's the pattern? That I want more and you run away from that? What's the problem here? That I want more? Am I going to stop wanting more? Probably not. Are you going to stop running away from this? No. Are we going to stop this? I don't know. Is this ever going to stop? In the essence, does this ever stop? I don't know. 84 years, huh? Really is, realistically. And that's where it is because my heart wants more, but my mind is totally fucking like, nah, no, I don't want any of this. It can be very shifty. You have to align with what your real true heart is and try to take the right steps towards that. And I want you guys to understand your sexual desires. That's what this is about. I'm going to label that, is understanding your sexual desires. Are they based on pure gratification? And I thought about that too, you know, all the people that stay at home and would rather just masturbate than get close to somebody. That's quick gratification. And in the essence, you don't feel loved. You just get off. You're still lacking love. You're lacking that closeness. Right? So, I don't want to completely persecute you in all of those ways, but some of them, you know what I mean? It's like, we need to rehabilitate a lot of people in these areas, and I just wanted to point it out. It's like my Knight of Wands got activated, I already was in that, I want to have, you know, a little adventure here, but I'm not trying to make it lead to something bigger, is like so on the surface. That's not true to the heart, because ultimately, Hierophant, I'm trying to like take this to the fucking, you know, the end game. I'm trying to get old with you. And that's that. Be careful, because the universe hears the true desire. You know what I mean? I might be telling this guy that I want to hang out for the weekend, but what my heart is really saying is I want to grow old with you. Whether it's to them or the universe, that's what my heart is saying. That's the frequency of love I'm sending out to somebody. And people are picking that up. And all different, you know what I mean, vibes. But again, Russ seems to pick up that, you know, I wanna have an adventure vibe. And he's always there. He can always sense when I'm sending out vibes. I don't know. The Holy Spirit told me one day he knows when I'm in deep, dark nights of the soul, which makes sense, because when I'm in so deep, all of a sudden I'll see his face. I'll see an image of him, and I'll snap out of it. It's like, if there's nobody in the dark with me, it's him. And in the light. I saw him in the light. Really? That freaked me out. What the fuck are you doing in here? How did you get here? If I figure out what you're doing, I just sent him a message the next day. I will fucking kill you. I have no idea what you're doing, but I will kill you. Is it him? No, he has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. It's his higher self. It's his spirit. His spirit is always with me, his higher self. So it's his spirit that tells him. And he had intuition before all this. He used to have an intuition that he listened to. He made songs about it. We used to, when I was on different vibrations, we had a very strong psychic connection. It was unbelievably strong. And it's like that. It's like, what happened? I went to a higher place of love, and he stayed there, unloving. That's all. If he was in a higher place of love, I could hear him. But I can't. He's in a place of hate. I'm not listening to hate mail. Really? Yeah, and then when I look at him, that's what we reflect back. He's over there being a fucking hater. He's being all of this. He's being super low vibrational. I don't even know what he's up to until they tell me, oh, go look at Russ. What are you doing, Russ? Before, I used to know. I used to, you know what I mean? I could hear it. Like I can with these guys. They'll wake me up in their posts and shit and all of that. I used to be very in tune with Russ. We don't align anymore. It's because of a heart space. And that's what really, you know, that's the hard part. Why? It's the same thing with, you know, like, I mean, as I say this, it's like, who can you align with through the heart? That's the hard part. As I go through the layers of it, yeah. But none of you fully align with me in my heart space because you haven't done the work. That's all that means. And he's done none of the work. So when I'm in low vibrational, here comes Russ. The lowest vibrational, here comes Russ. Really? The lowest. I was talking shit to Wolfman and his low vibration, and then it went on a huge tangent about Russ. And then from there, ended up talking about the douchebag outside. It's a collective energy. Let's collect all these guys and put them in the trash real quick. Realistically, something like that. So, all of these guys are like, you know, adventurous bursts. They're the knights. The knights in shining armor. There's the slow guy. I like how he's all old compared to the young guys. Right? He's all wise and practical. He's all, you know, down to earth. Right? That's your earth signs. You have your Knight of Swords. That's your air signs. Your Knight of Cups that are out there. I wanna love you. Those are all. That's that loving. That's what got me having sex under the full moon. Was this damn cup. Oh, that and the 8 of Wands. Really? Yeah. Let me read this one to you. It's funny. I thought it was funny when we read it. I was like, oh, I'm having sex. I'm having sex. I'm having sex. It's gonna happen. I'm having sex. Really? It's so in the cards. That's why it's like, I'm not pushing this. They're pushing it on me. I'm not trying to get married. They're trying to make us get married. They're trying to make me get married. Get away from me. Oh, God. Really? Yeah, Pentacles. No, Cups. Getting on my nerves with this. Queen of Cups. Princess. Goofy. And Knight. The Knight of Cups represents a person in your life, or he may be you. He's a creative and imaginative, soft-spoken and gentle. He's ruled by his heart rather than his head. So he was in a different deck. We must have read this. So though he is intelligent, he is easily swayed. He is artistic, romantic, and charming. What is this? The Knight of Cups tells you to follow your heart, not your ego. This is an opportunity for great spiritual growth. I mean, if I would have thought it, I didn't think about it. I just sent the message. Somebody in the reverse of this abuses drugs, alcohol, or sex. His idea of a relationship is generally a one-night stand, and is unlikely that you are even going to, or in the event that you're in a relationship with him, you'll never know where you are. If he has moved on, he probably won't even tell you, as he wants to avoid all confrontation. Yeah, these are knights, bro. They're not serious. They're not serious. Really? No, we're not serious. Princesses are more serious than we are. That's what he said. This is my party girl, dude. She's serious. She's pulling her underwear off at the end of the class. You didn't even bring a condom. You didn't even bring a condom, dude. You weren't even serious about what we were here to do. In the essence, the thing came up yesterday. It's like, how do broke men have sex? Because women just want love? How about that sick answer? We're just looking for a good time. You don't like that answer, right? We're supposed to be Mother Marys. We're supposed to be, we really want, breakfast in bed and shit and all that shit. No, bro. I gotta go. I gotta get back to my kids, is how I was. And now the tables have turned, and it's quite funny. You're married and have kids? That's so weird. I thought you'd never settle down. Really? Yeah, like the two of us, you're gonna, what? The fuckboy settled down? I don't believe this. Really? No way. Oh, we're fucking? Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't really believe this. Just kidding. Sort of, not really. And then I believe that. And you know what Morgan said to me that I'll never forget, and it was a sense of hope that I'll never forget. We were having that group therapy. She's like, yeah, he may be like that with her, but who's to say he'll be like that with you? And that changed everything. Why? Because I was like that with them, but I'm not going to be like that with you. And that's the truth. Because as I've grown, I've learned to be better. Right? So each person that I'm, attempting to have a relationship, I'm trying to be a better version of myself in this relationship and not be what I used to be, but get it, take that knowledge and wisdom and experience not to, repeat those patterns. Unfortunately, I have a pattern in life where it just plays out and then I recorrect it. So, and that's pretty much probably the rest of you. When you go into a new relationship, you're like, oh, let me not do this. I did this last time. Maybe you're not aware that you're patterning and you're acting with this person what you did with the other person. But I realize that every person, I'm getting better. If that makes sense. Right? So when it got to Wolfman, by the time I got to Wolfman, I'd already been, terrorized all 12 of my twin flames. And when I got to him, I was going to treat him like I treated them. And there was a set energetic field not to do such things. Don't treat him like them. He was supposed to be a gift, and I treated him like them, the curse. And I didn't. And I started to pattern on him, and then I stopped. And then I started, and then I stopped. And I started, and then I didn't stop. And that's where I got myself in spiritual court. I knew I wasn't supposed to. I knew I was supposed to act better with this one. Why? Well, it was Persephone and Hades being played out. But I just was supposed to. I felt it energetically that don't say this. Apologize for what you just said. Stop calling him a bitch. Why? Well, we find out later that his ego can't take that. And I could have got myself in a lot of trouble with him talking to a man like that. Really? Well, yeah. You see it now. As I'm sticking 10 swords in his back, and he's attacking. And realistically, that's what I did. I judged him right away. And I called him the Knight of Swords right away. He has the messages. He blocked me right after. He was very upset. I was like, I was waiting on an emperor. They told me, I thought you were my emperor. You are a Knight of Swords, and you have a lot of shadow work to do. I offended him. Right away. And I had manifested him. I had asked the universe for this guy, and they sent this guy, and I spit in his face. And I got in trouble for that. Really? So then I go back and I get my face spit on by all these other guys as karma for it. Wasn't that lovely? What goes around comes around. Lovely. Alright, let's stop playing these games now. And I ended up being a better Knight of Swords than you. Now, going back to the Emperor, my friend, I, myself, am an Emperor. I take full action with authority, and I'm very fathering and all of that good stuff. You have yet to got to the Emperor status. If so, you would be here with the Empress. Ta-da! But you still have lots of shadow work to do, as I told you in the beginning. Now, I do know that my delivery was never so good, and we're always working on the delivery of words. As I cut throat everyone with my sword, I'm working on that. That is something I work harder on than Eminem does. And so, yeah, we're working on that. But ultimately, yeah, that's how all this is. So these are adventure boys. And this is where, let's all transparency. I'm trying to take an adventure that's going to lead to a happy union. And be careful with that, because you really do want it. And when it does happen, don't run away from it. Don't act like you didn't expect it. Don't act like it's not what you wanted. Even, as it said in the cards, if it doesn't come back in the form that you thought it would. When you tell the universe you're ready to take that next big step, you don't have to go chasing some man. You're telling the universe that I'm ready to be a wife. So then the universe makes you become the wife. While that, as you're becoming, depending if you keep becoming, they're going to send in a man for that wife. If you stop becoming, then you get that man. And that's where I had all these men on different levels of my evolution. If I stopped there, I could have just married you and we would have been fine. I never would have went any further, never got any further. I could have stayed happily along with you forever. Could have sat around with Russ, writing songs, being materialistic, low vibrational, talking shit, making punchlines, you know what I mean? Being that guy forever. I could have stayed with Marshall and again, sit around, making music, talking shit, making punchlines, doing shit like that forever. I needed to push myself, you know what I mean, to a higher level of love. And that's where it is. So when you tell the universe, they're going to send it back. I was preparing myself for an adventure. So they sent me who? Adventure Time, Mr. Wolfman Experience. They sent me a Wolfman Experience. I am the wolf, and they sent me a cub man to have a sexual experience. Really? I was supposed to try something new. But I didn't. Instead, because that's what all he was. The Knight of Wands is nothing but a great time. I was supposed to have a great time with him. But I wanted more. And I told him, and I wasn't grateful for the time I could have with him. I wanted more than that time. And all he was worth was a great time. Well, if you can't have a great time with him, then go have a great time with him. It's still the universe. It's still the energy. I was ready to have a great time. What time of the year was it? Around Scorpio season. Around Sagittarius season. Then there's that one in Capricorn season. It's a great season for the crone. We call it the rebirthing process. We feed off the blood of men. Really? Well, sort of. I mean, yeah, if there was a holy season where you better watch out. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? What else? It was a cold winter. That's what all the animals do in the winter. What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you know what time it is? And you come out of hibernation trying to fuck. Oh, we've been fucking all fucking winter, bro. We're coming out hungry. We're not really looking for a partner. We're looking for excitement. We're about to leave the partner for this winter partner. What do you do when you're in the cave? Come on, playing around. It's a seasonal thing. Anyways, yeah, going back to it. Isn't it funny, though, how the energy plays out? So I shared Mercury and Lilith in conjunction with Lilith and Scorpio at 23%. And the moon. Oh. Oh, man. That's what I try to say. It's not me. It's the energy. Blame it on the full moon. Blame it on the new moon. The quarter moon. The waxing. The waning. It's the moon. It's shining down on me. Really? Yeah. So, yeah, I had fun. I'm going to have some lunch. I still haven't blow drying. I did the blow drying thing. I haven't got myself fully ready for the day. I went and did half of my daily stuff. I'm going to do some more daily stuff, but I wanted to share that because that's what came to me. I think it actually was, between the elevator and the blow drying, that's where that story came from, was the out element of the air. Your heart has true intentions, but your mind is getting in the way, and your mouth is getting in the way. Really? Yeah. Your heart knows what it wants, which is that. It wants something real. It wants a real ass, the real deal. But when somebody asks you, you lie. And that's what it said about having sacred conversations. I'd be lying if I didn't say I love you, and I want this moment to last forever. But I've learned not to want more and just accept, be grateful for a few good moments. Because those moments make a lifetime. Really? Yeah. When I put my horse down, I have some great stories of far off lands. Can I just point out they're all riding the horse? Why? Because they're a knight. We're in movement. So, you know, Lewis, there was nothing sexier than seeing you on the, you know, being a cowgirl over there in Austin, Texas. I always call him my knight in shining armor. He really is a knight. He was knighted by Queen Elizabeth. He really is. And the shining armor, he drives a fucking rocket ship, all shiny, made of armor. And he really came galloping into America on a horse. If that isn't the sexiest fucking iconic fucking, you know, love story written in time, I don't know what is. Again, it's just a divine comedy over here. I make jokes. You don't see the parallel in time. Really? Yeah? They put the wrong picture. It was Lewis. Which one is Lewis? Well, he's a Capricorn. So what is that? Oh, he's the slowest moving energy. You should know that, Lewis. He tries to drive a Ferrari and be fast, but you're kind of getting old in your old age there, guy. They just get younger. The one's full of love. Look how young that guy is. That's Allie over there. Oh, man. It's really... And that's really what it is. It's like, damn. Really? Yeah, what happened with my ex-husband? Oh, dude, he was just a fling. He was a dude I was working with. Seriously? Dude, he was fucking 19 years old. I was fucking 29 years old. 28. Fuck? Seriously, bro. I'm so serious. He gave me attention, made me feel cute, made me feel this and that, and then I just started fucking the shit out of that guy. Got all fucked up. Didn't even realize that he had a whole fucked up trauma. He had a fucked up family. This guy was all types of fucked up. I was already too deep in. I didn't even know. Really? Mm-hmm. True story. True story. I was minding my own business. Again, how long was I celibate before that? Oh, fuck. There's a scary story. The guy I was messing with before him, he was in the army. And that was on a dare. It was literally on a dare. I was with a bunch of guys in the car, and I was like, dang, he looks good. And they heard me say it. They're like, I bet you won't get him, Miss Boss. I bet you. And I felt like I had to. And then I went, and I just was fucking him at the barracks. Really? Mm-hmm. And then he got deported, or whatever they call it, stationed. I think he went to Afghanistan or something. And while I was working there, and then this guy started working there. True story. Before him, I don't know. Nick. Who was Nick? He was a sous chef that worked downtown, but he himself had just got out of rehabilitation. He was in a halfway house, and then he moved into my apartments. And yep. Again, these fucking flings, bro. I gotta quit flinging myself around like that. Alright, what about before Nick? Any dick before Nick? I was fucking Freak Show. Yep, because I introduced Nick to Freak Show and he didn't like him. There was a non-liking exchange. That's when I got in a fight with Nick, and I broke my... Yes! We got drunk over at Freak Shows, and I drank all kinds of drink, and then we got into a fight, and I swung, and I fucking cut open my finger. Really? True story. Got the fucking scar to prove it. Yeah? It was crazy. Yeah, I was... Yep. Before that, nothing. No. That was recovery after, baby daddy number 1. Really? Yeah, long stories. Not too many lovers. Oh, and then somehow I had sex, or I attempted. It didn't really happen. Attempted to have sex with Money B, or he attempted to have sex with me. What happened? Impotency. He couldn't have sex. So, good thing for that. That might have been Pac, the enormous cock block in my life. But everything else, he stood by and probably watched. What happened with Nick? I don't know. Nick just invited me in, and I started fucking Nick. True story? I don't really know. I have no idea. I wasn't like, he had a huge crush on me. I had an apartment there. And I lived there, and then I moved out, and I took my kids to San Diego, and I was gone for a while, and then I came back, and I went to the apartments. No, I went to the bar across from the apartments. And then I met Nick, and I just was like, yeah, I just got back, and no, I don't know where I'm not really staying anywhere, probably my mom's or something. And he invited me to stay at his house, and then, I don't know, I became his girlfriend. Really? Yeah, for a while. That was just partying and doing drugs, to be honest. I was like partying with everyone and being all crazy. So then he got us an apartment down in Capitol Hill. Not a good place when you have a cocaine habit. Very not good place. And then that's the whole story there. After that, I went into the sales business, and then I did that, and then I opened up a shop in Colorado Springs and met my husband, ex-husband. Really? Yeah, crazy stories. I wasn't looking for that. I was pushed into it. Same with my first boyfriend, dude. Like, literally, it happened too fast. We were, like, dating, and then it was like, run away with me to Mexico. I didn't really understand that, I suppose. And I got down there, and he was like, this is my wife. Es mi esposa. And that's what I was to everybody. And they started training me to become a wife. I mean, we weren't. We became 15-year-old heartthrobs that everybody thought were amazing. We had a house, and we had a car, and we had, we were having children, and we were, drug lords, and we were grown, and people thought it was cool and shit, but it just all happened too fast. I never even had a boyfriend. I don't know how to be a girlfriend. I'm telling you, I don't. I never was nobody's girlfriend. I'm your friend, and then we start having sex. And then something else happens. I don't think I should be friends with anybody. Or avoid the sex. And that's what almost happened with Tree. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I thank God for that one. The Holy Spirit tried to push me into it just to show me that I had a pattern of this. But yes. Oh, God. I didn't even want to. It was just about empowerment. It really was. Because he wanted me. Tree wanted me. Oh, 40 years old. You're a sicko. He was like 20-something and shit. But he was. We would sit there. I'd meet him down in downtown in front of Native and shit. And we'd talk and shit. Because I'd be out driving. And he'd be out partying. And he'd be like hooking up with women like older than me, bro. And then I'd meet him in Boulder. And he's with this girl that's like fucking 19. I was like, dude, you're so weird. Anyways, he would do all this. And then the Holy Spirit was just trying to empower me to, chase some love. And then I was like, I sent him this message to talk about, making love to his body. So cringe. Jesus Christ. Now I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I almost had sex with a child. Realistically, no, thank God. Thank God that my approach is so scary that they don't actually go for it. Because I don't want to be standing there, just close my eyes and do it. You signed up for this. It's kind of the whole situation. You can't back down now. You got it in you. Oh, okay, I guess I walked myself into this. I never want to remember this. And then the Holy Spirit's like, you're never going to forget this nowadays. Is this your energy? I'm just being honest. I'm not really that holy priestess. I'm not really. I'm traumatized, but very sexualized. In the form of love. I don't want to just sex anyone. I feel I get close to people, and that's the next level of love that I try to give, and it's like, obviously complicates things. And, there's my story. I'm just pouring out my sins at the altar. I really just need some lunch and to go get on with my life, but they wanted me to tell you that because we're making confessions and Mercury and stuff, secret confessions. What got me here? Same thing that got you there. Realistically, it's like, yeah, I say that we really do just want to have an adventure, but we really, really hope the adventure really never ends. And that's where it is. If you found the right person, you don't leave something that makes you happy. When you're happy, you're happy. You just stop looking for something to make you happy. I believe that. I choose to believe that. I don't believe that this person makes you happy, but more that you're happy with this person is what you need to go be looking at. Because that's where you break down your conditions. It's like, I would never tolerate this with anyone else, but because I love you so much, I can forgive you for some shit like this. Now, don't allow patterns and behaviors where you're manipulated by your love, but love will push you to new lengths. If there's one thing that I know for sure about my twin flames, is how much they love me is only based on one thing. I would say it's forgiveness. Their forgiveness towards my really awful behaviors shows alone that they love me. You know what I mean? You have to have love to be forgiving. And, you know, that alone makes me know that. You know what I mean? It's like, we can look at Kanye as a total. All of us as, you know, united. It's like, when you have understanding and compassion, you can have so much forgiveness and love for a person, regardless to their behaviors and what they're doing. I know, guys, I know that he's hurt a lot of people, and I know he's a lot of things, but what I do know is he's really just a hurt person that's hurting people, and that's why, you know what I mean, so many people hate him. But a person like this doesn't need your hate. They need your love more than other people. Even though all they're giving out is hate, those are the people that need your love most. You know, and that's just kind of how it is. It's like when you truly love somebody, you'll go further and harder to love that person. You know what I mean? I have to dig deeper for Kanye. I have to dig pretty fucking deep for Russ. And that's where it is. It's like, you know, some people, they call us to give, you know, it's going to take more of us. We got to give them, we got to, you know, dig deep for more love. And love is that. It's all different kinds of things. So it's in the cards, and I want you to be open to receiving it and sending out the right frequency. No, this isn't for me, is what you're saying, but that's not the truth. You're saying, I'm not ready. It's not that it's not for you. Maybe you need to say, I'm not ready for this right now. And that's where it is. It's like, slow steps, please. Slow steps, please. And when you're dealing with a Knight of Wands energy, a non-committal person, slow steps, please. And it's funny because, like, if he didn't run, I probably would. I don't know. I probably would. I run away from everything else. I'm the runner. That's what's so funny. Are you running because are you absorbing the running energy, or am I don't have to run because you run? Like, you take away my running so I can stay still. One of us is going to run away from this. Why? Because when you get to those places, you know what I mean? I did it with all of my twin flames. It gets too vulnerable, and you don't know, you're in too deep. And you just want to shut down because you don't know how to go forward, and now you're in a little too deep. It's not that you don't want to go forward, you just feel that you're in too deep. You feel like you're a little bit, it's too much. And if you ever feel like it's too much, typically you'll either fight or flight. It's nothing happened, it's just you got a little consumed with everything that is. One day it was just fine, the next day this is too much. What happened? Just took on too much outside, probably. To be honest, what fueled the fire? I like how he's running through the firing bush guy. That's cool. I like how they picture the pictures. Picture me rolling. It's like I set all this shit on fire and I gotta get out of here right away. That's what I get out of this one, right? The Knight of Wands the Knight of Swords is always having, and that's with the Hawk, is having the higher ground, a higher perception, because it's all about thoughts, so it's seeing it bigger. You know what I mean? The Knight of Cups is obviously the water, so it's all about being in your emotions. What is in that cup? Well, it could be poisoned emotions, where he just wants to poison you with his negative emotions, but it could be a big-ass cup of love. They're emotions. Nevertheless, he's bringing a bunch of emotions at you. Could be a water sign. And then you got, the wise one of the earth. That just, you know what I mean? That I wouldn't say the scavenger, but the survivor, the practical. You know what I mean? He's not trying to get anywhere at any time important. He's just going. He's just going with the flow, going with the seasons. He is literally in no hurry whatsoever to do anything with his life. He's just lifing. Who is that guy? I mean, pretty much, dude. Seriously, who is that guy? Get your fucking... Does that horse do anything but wander? I'm always talking to that guy. Really? Yeah, it's just a practical person that doesn't see the point in, you know what I mean, using your mind or emotions or willpower to do anything. You're just going to push your body through nice and slow. There's nothing really pushing you. You have no push to do anything. You're just taking your time. It's a fisherman. This is a golfer. Somebody that does a very slow sport. It's not really about the thrill. It's just about, That's why I said, I think I need an earth sign. Somebody that's not that thrilling, that just is very grounded. So when I get all thrilling, you can just say, chill. Just chill. Just chill. Need someone to keep me chill. I don't need another fire sign lighting fires underneath my ass all the time. Last thing I need is someone else drowning me with their emotions when I'm already drowning in mine. Realistically, you can't outthink me. So what are we doing here? I think I need someone that can teach me something about this earth. Someone that can ground me to the earth. What is that? Oh, it sounds like submission to me. Did you enjoy that show? Cool. I really don't have anything else to do. I'm enjoying my day. Really? Yeah. I mean, I have to do this pre-recorded interview, but I have 48 hours to do it. So I can do it whenever I want. Really? Yeah, as long as it's not creepy hours. That's weird. They'll be like, why did she do her interview at 3 o'clock in the morning? Well, I just got off work. What do you do? I'm a stripper. Just kidding. I fell in love with the stripper. And then I heard I told Tree that, dude. I did, afterwards, jokingly. I was serious. The guy is one of those douchebags. And now he doesn't have the same physique as Lewis Hamilton, but he literally pumps steroids and all this stuff to get all big and buff. And he's covered in tattoos, and he thinks he's so sexy. And I was like, you should just be like a male stripper. I really told him that. So every time I think of that song, the Usher song, I don't mind. I always think of Tree. I always think of him in a cowboy hat stripping for a bunch of girls. Why do I think of that? Because when I was 18 years old, when I turned, I think 19 or 18, maybe 21, I don't know. God, my years are fucked off. I lived in the Mojave Desert, and there was a bar, I think it was in Palmdale, and the strippers from fucking Las Vegas called the Hunks or something, came and did this whole thing, and my brother took me for my birthday. He must have known, I didn't. And he left me there, and he took me to this club where all of these male strippers were, and I've seen male strippers do their little dancey dance. So I have a visual of male strippers in my head, and I put Tree into that picture, and that's where I come up with this image. Really? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Very odd, but yeah, he took me when I was like, it's a weird memory. I didn't remember it till like kind of right now, but it's true. Well, yeah. You know what's weird? I'll tell you what's real weird. Is the childhood memory I have about my brother playing the house with me. That's weird. You think the fact that my Air Force brother took me to a strip club is weird? I can tell you something weirder. He's a whole weirdo. Really? Yeah, we stay away from him. For real? Yeah, he's all certified psycho. I have his bachelor's degree in biochemistry in my bag. Yeah, he's a weirdo, dude. Serious? Yeah. He's like a sergeant in fucking the Air Force, or maybe he's retired now, with a biochemist fucking degree and the most serious mommy issues I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, we don't fuck with him. Really? Don't fuck with him. There's some of the members I don't know. If I never ever see you again. Never see you again. Thanks for never knowing you. Pretty much. Really? Yeah, I'm full of great tragic stories. You wanna write a book? You can't. It's my life. My book. Hey, I love you. Later. Bye. Oops, wrong finger. Wrong hole.